Hi, hey, and hello there. Obi-Han here, and welcome back to the Comic High Ground. And yes, I'm back. It's been a bit, but y'all held it down. 500 subscribers while I was out is awesome. I really appreciate it, and I hope we can keep building and grow even more. At some point, I'll find some type of consistency with these uploads, but for now, thank you. Now, in terms of Ultimate Spider-Man, I actually did audio for the previous 2 issues, but the video wouldn't have been but around maybe 5 minutes, and I wanted to have a longer video. But the issues also really weren't that eventful or exciting, so I decided to do a quick review of those in this video before I tell you about this month's issue, which is luckily more eventful and more exciting. Now, the last time I uploaded a video, that was around when the Sinister Six formed. Well, sorta, because they didn't really form in the traditional sense. Issue 9 saw Harry and Peter go into Otto for upgrades on their suits. Peter gave Otto the Pico suit in exchange for a Kevlar lace suit, which, in my opinion, is a huge downgrade and something I think they shouldn't have done because the Pico suit made Ultimate Spider-Man stand out from the rest. Also, we got to see this universe's version of the Iron Spider suit, which was awesome, but he didn't take it because it was too bulky. After they got their upgrades, or downgrades in Peter's case, they went outside to a nearby rooftop and were attacked by the Black Cat, Walter, not Felicia. He incapacitated Harry and was then taken down by Spidey. But when Spidey just webbed him up and went to go check on Harry, the Black Cat cut the web and snuck up behind Spidey. Harry then blasted the Black Cat off the roof and onto the ground, which seriously injured him. Peter mentioned that his spider sense didn't go off, meaning the Black Cat wasn't going to hurt him. Harry closes out the issue by telling Peter that if Peter's life is in danger, then Harry won't hesitate to do what needs to be done. Now, that was issue 9. Not a lot happened, but it was still a good one. Now, issue 10 was a tough read, honestly. It progressed the story, but it was very slow. So, y'all will have to forgive me for speeding through this one. Basically, Uncle Ben and Jonah did some digging around, found out that Oscorp bought Stark Industries. They questioned Gwen about this, and they asked her about Goblin, which pissed her off, and of course, Harry confronted them next. He tried to intimidate them by putting his Goblin gloves on, but basically they laughed and was like, yeah, we caught that. We knew that was you. We knew that was you. So, yeah, they basically already knew. Harry gave them a drive with a lot of information regarding the Maker and Kingpin, and that's basically issue 10. I mean, there really wasn't a lot to it. It was a very slow issue, a lot of talking, not a lot going on. So now for this month's issue number 11. This one was really good. We start out with Spidey calling Otto, trying to figure out where Harry is because they were supposed to meet up that evening, I guess, for some hero work. Otto told Spidey that he didn't know where Harry was, and Spidey suggested Otto tracks the suit. When Otto does find something, he's interrupted by Spidey telling him that he'll have to call him back because there's a situation he has to handle. Funny thing is, Otto can't call Peter back because Peter really isn't a big fan of Otto, so he called him using a blocked number. Spidey responds to what looks like a bank robbery in progress. When he arrives, he sees a bunch of Martin Lee's demons holding the place up. Spidey starts taking these guys down with ease and cracking jokes while he's doing it. There is one bank worker who has like this attitude and she's complaining about Spidey helping them. And ironically, she ends up getting taken hostage, which causes her to complain more to Spidey about what he's doing. But at that point, Spidey's able to disarm the demon pretty easily and the lady gets away. After having defeated all the henchmen, Mr. Negative himself shows up. He asks Spidey about the Goblin, and Spidey says it's just him today. Lee then mentions that Spidey and Goblin pretty much took out Black Cat, which Spidey admits wasn't supposed to happen the way it did. But Lee possesses some civilians in the bank and has them attack Spidey, and he leaves. Keep that in mind because I'll bring that up later. It's pretty important. Spidey manages to get away from the crowd and makes his way home with his suit in tatters. If he had the Pico suit, that wouldn't have been a problem, now wouldn't it? Okay, let me start complaining. Anyway, when he arrives, he finds Mary Jane waiting on him. She's worried about Peter and asks if she should be. Peter then tells her that he'll let her know when it's time to run. One funny thing in this conversation is where Mary Jane asks Peter if he's even been in a fight before. And he tells her, well, yeah, in the 8th grade. And she asks him how it went. And he's like, oh, I got the beat out of me. which is hilariously honest on Peter's part. After that, Mary Jane asks Peter if he wants to mess around, which again is hilarious because she just tossed that out there out of nowhere. This is why Ultimate MJ is the GOAT. The real MJ. I don't know what the heck Nick Lowe got over there in 616, but you know what? I'll save that rant for another video. But Peter tells Mary Jane that he'll have to take a rain check on that because he has to go meet up with Uncle Ben for something important. It's got to be important if you're taking a rain check on that offer. We then go to Kingpin and the Sinister Five. Well, they're actually still the Sinister Six. I'll explain in a second. Okay, just give me a second. Kingpin is yelling at Lee for not finishing Spidey, to which Lee says that he really didn't have the advantage. They stalemated. Spidey kicked the demon's butt with no effort, and Lee had to escape. When Mole Man asks why he didn't possess Spider-Man, Lee basically says that he sensed that Spidey's willpower was too strong. Now that's a good bit of writing on Hickman's part because we've already seen Spidey grapple with Lee's control before, and he always beats it. But in this case, Lee can already sense up front that Spidey is too powerful. Kraven then mentions that they need to deal with Spidey and the Goblin because they're down to 5. But the Black Cat wheels in a wheelchair with Felicia next to him in costume, saying that there's still 6, and that Felicia is taking over as the Black Cat. Since each of the 6 are basically leaders of their own territory in the city, the Black Cat is not really willing to be taken out of the fold. Fist then demands that each of them drop what they're doing and divert their attention to Spidey and Goblin. We then go back to Peter, who got a text back from Harry saying that he had to take care of something and that he would meet Peter later to talk about it. Peter meets up with Uncle Ben and they go to a memorial for those who were caught up in the attack from the beginning of the story. They visit May and Ben talks about her for a bit before telling Peter that she'd be proud of him. Peter thinks he's talking about the pictures, but Ben says that's not what he's referring to. This is when Peter realizes that Ben knows that he's Spider-Man. Ben tells him that he figured it out not long after realizing that Harry was Goblin. He then tells Peter to be careful with his secret. After this, Peter tells Ben that he has to go meet Harry, and that's where the issue closes out. Like I said, this issue was better than the previous 2, and it looks like the 6 are about to actually attack now. So we'll see how that goes. Again, I appreciate you all for the 500 subs. I'll be more active again with uploads, and I'll try to post more on the community tab as well. There should be a poll or 2 coming, so be on the lookout for that. Hit that like button, drop a comment to let me know what you thought of this comic, subscribe for more, and remember, we have the high ground. Catch you later.